Okay, so that was a cinematic. And now I'd like to show you my new sewing machine, the Janome Eeasy Jeans Heavy Duty 1800. But why this one? Because I wanted to make something new. To make
something else.
And this machine seemed to be good enough. It can sew thicker materials, but still it is smaller in size and handy. I decided to make a tactical fleece. To make it, I used a 380 fleece fabric in a lovely caramel brown color. Oh boy, see how soft and cushiony it is. A 260 nylon to reinforce crucial areas, waterproof of course. And a few other things. Shocker to make some welts, zippers, little plastic things, scissors, threads, dark brown cotton, light brown cotton, and polyester thread with the lovely name Italia. Lighter as always, white crayon to make things like a pro, another plastic squishy thingies, fabric honeycomb mesh, eyelets and press for them, measuring tape, and pins. I've never made clothes before, so I needed some guidance. I used my old hoodie as a template for that. I started by drawing and cutting out the main elements of the hoodie. The back part is just a piece of fabric in the right shape. Little cuts for sleeves and collar. Nothing fancy, I guess. The front one was a bit more difficult, because I decided to make many pockets. At least more than my template had. So, to make this right, it took me a bit more time to design, measure, draw and cut everything as it should be with my tiny scissors, but I did it. It's a good practice to check how the machine operates, if the stitches are strong, because no one likes corrections on the finished product, right? Despite the fact that I almost always have to do them, but you don't have to. I'll be honest, I didn't focus on the perfect seams, because I treated the whole project as a prototype and I focused on main purpose, to make it comfy, solid and functional. Sleeve pockets were essential. They are small, yes, but you can reach them almost always. I also wanted to reinforce the elbow area with a nylon, because it's easy to tear apart when you're going prone. Couldn't miss velcro panels as well. After all, you can't call something tactical if it doesn't have velcro, right? The tactical look was enhanced by 4 front pockets. I lined the upper pocket with honeycomb mesh and cut 2 holes inside the bottom for the next steps. The first attempt to connect the sleeve with cuff was shitty. I moved the seams relative to each other to have fewer layers to sew, but it turned out that it was not a problem at all for my sewing machine, even when I added a strap with a hard side velcro. So I corrected it and smoothed out the joining lines, which looked much better. The next step was to strengthen the elements of the hoodie on the shoulders and connect everything together. I did my best to finish the joints and secure them with the zigzag stitch. The holes I left in the pockets were required to place the welt at the bottom of the jacket, which is really beneficial in high winds. From the technical point of view, it was only a folded fabric with a shockcord inside, so that was simple. I could not miss that solution in this baby. I didn't want the extra strings hanging at the bottom of the hoodie and hook on everything when I walk. So after a small struggle with putting cord through the holes, I made an adjustment inside. The whole system is incredibly neat and functional, and it was worth every effort I've put it in. I also thought it would be a good idea to reinforce the sleeve joints with an additional single stitch. Next step, a collar. Making it appeared to be an easy task, but it was a disaster for me. I had no idea how to go about it due to the fact it was connected with main zipper, hood and had to have soft edge suit inside. So I took the old hoodie and stared. And stared. And stared. Until I figured it out. With YouTube tutorials help, of course. The zipper to attach my hood was too long. But I was able to shorten it using a scissors and a lighter. When it was on its place, I could focus on main zipper part. Why? Because, as I mentioned, collar was stitched inside and then flipped over, so I needed this thing to be done first. An additional flap from the inside helps when you zip the hoodie and, more importantly, to protect my belly from the freezing cold wind. The only thing left was to finish the collar by attaching the inside part. Considering that I don't have much experience in sewing clothing, the whole thing looked very well as for a prototype. Everything fit together nicely and I was happy how it turned out. None of the parts were missing or been broken, most of the stitches looked good enough. There were no mistakes in the construction and I could finally try it on and it fitted great on me. To complete my adventure, I needed to create a hood. The previous one looked like a medieval peasant's cap and was not very comfy at all. I utilized its design but modified it somewhat and added a peak. Construction was pretty simple and consisted of a few basic shapes. So that was the old one and that is the new one. See the difference? Of course, I didn't forget about the velcro on the back and the hood adjustments. I also used a low profile welt here. After attaching this to the rest, the whole thing looked great, so tactical and professional. I enjoyed it so much that I gave myself thumbs up for 3 times in a row. There was one more minor detail. Zipper handles. I was going to create them with a bit thicker cord. You know, bigger is better. But it turned out to be too big and I picked a thinner one. It took some skill and many tries for me to mount the tips, but it provides a lot of comfort when using, especially when you're wearing gloves. And we mainly wear fleece when it's cold, so we usually have gloves. You get the idea, right? And that's how this beautiful, tactical baby was born.
Okay, so the fleece is done. Hope you like it. It was the first time for me doing this kind of project, but overall I think it looks okay. So hope you like it and see you next time. Bye.